I'd like to call the Village of North Holly Board of Trustees meeting to order Monday, June 7th. Audience members are requested to sign in on the sheet provided at the registration table. Citizens wishing to be heard on topics not listed on the agenda may speak under item C. Citizens may be given an opportunity to speak during discussion of items listed on the agenda are allowed 3 minutes for comments. Disruptive discussion or profanity will not be allowed. Roll call of officers.
Duffy.
Here.
Horning.
Here.
Streeter.
Here.
Price.
Here.
Will. Mike.
Oh, did we lose him?
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
There's a delay.
Get it on mute.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Announcements. Any announcements? All right, seeing none. President's Business Library, Heather?
Thank you. We are on day one of week one of our summer reading program. So you'll be seeing a lot of activity at the library this week. On Wednesday, we have a craft activity and a couple read dog teams that will be coming. And we also have a lot of class visits and stuff going on this week as well. So far, we have over 100 children, 100 adults, and 27 teens signed up. So hopefully we'll still keep signing people up and increase those numbers. Hopefully get closer to where we were before. But yeah, we're off to a pretty good start. So, and I just wanted to mention we got a couple really nice thank you cards from our patrons, and we just are in such a great community, and they just appreciate what we do. So I appreciate them as well. So that's about all I have.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Hey, Heather, when is the animal handler going to be at the,
Tuesday, June 15th,
do you know what time?
1 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Administrator Nick?
Chuck, were you going to ask?
I was just gonna ask, when you say
Oh,
back
I'm
to
sorry.
pre-year, what was it like before this? You said there's 100 or some. About how many?
Well, when we were up to our highest, it was 300 and some children. So we're hoping to get 200 and some or better this year too. Yet, I mean, like I said, we were in the pre-registration phase this past week. So we still sign people up as we go through the summer. So
You also said that you're going to classes. Our school's out now, isn't it? Or
class visits, you mean coming over? Yeah, we do have. Let's see, it's St. Paul's, I believe, that comes over.
so they're
and-
still in school, you're saying then?
I'm not really sure. I imagine they are if they're together as a class. So,
Okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thanks, didn't see that, John. Administrator Nick?
Thank you. It's just been very, very busy in the front office as of late. Between the pool, and you saw in the weekly report that we had a couple pool heaters. Both of our pool heaters, there's two of them there. They both were destroyed just from probably sitting. Also didn't help, but they were 7 or 8 years old. So Mother Nature helped us there and warmed up the water pretty quickly. So the 65 is kind of the cutoff of when you can actually open, and we were by Friday night when they opened, I think it was 71, and I think there were 74 over the weekend. So tons of people. They sold, I think, 300 passes, season passes over the weekend, and we only have 600, I think, that we sell. Very, 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 very busy this weekend, and lots of revenue. At the same time, lots of issues too. I mean, there's just a lot of people, and it was the first weekend. So, that between that and we're down one in the front office right now. A lot of phone calls, a lot of questions about the pool, and just real busy time of year, and it's vacation season. So just been very, very busy, which is good. A lot of people calling with questions and taking care of business. So it's also been very busy with building and construction. That's continued ever since, it seems like when COVID started, the building took off. A lot of people doing projects, and it hasn't slowed down. So it's just been really busy with all that, and it's almost budget time, so I'm gearing up for that. So that's just around the corner now. We're in June, so usually July we start our discussions. So that's all I have.
Ann?
Are they doing anything special for COVID at the pool?
There's a few rules, yes. There's not really any limits on people in that. There's some rules about bubblers and things like that, but not super, not anything real special, no.
Okay.
Police Department, Darren.
Thank you. We continue to work on our hiring process. I made a conditional offer today. The candidate accepted. We have all of the necessary appointments scheduled for next week. So by the end of the month, we should have all the results back and know whether or not that's going to work out for us. We received a donation for our DARE program from the North Fond du Lac Optimist. They are our longest time supporter of the DARE program. They've been supporting that program since its inception, which I should have looked up. It was a long time ago. I don't even remember how long it's been in place, but they've been there for us year after year, which is truly appreciated because, as you guys all know, we're able to keep the expenses for the DARE program off of the tax roll based on donations from the community, and the Optimists have been a huge part of that. So lastly, I passed out the monthly report for May. You see it in front of you. Obviously, we continue to be incredibly busy, and I don't see that changing with the warmer weather coming. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Darren.
I have a question.
Yep.
I just noticed, like, I was looking at my notes from last time, and it said that we made a promotion and that we're backfilling in patrol. Is that the conditional offer that
Yes.
you made? Are all your open positions filled then?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have said no as quickly as I did. Positions, bodies are filled, positions are not. There's still some stuff that's got to change around within because when we promoted Clarissa to lieutenant, that left a sergeant's vacancy. We promoted Jake Egan to that sergeant's vacancy. But now with this conditional offer filling what was the last vacancy in patrol, because Jake moved out, there's technically a vacant position. Does that make sense? Or there will be?
Not really, but
Okay. we were short a body to begin with. And so that's what this process was dealing with.
Sure.
But now we had Jake Egan move from patrol to sergeant, so there's technically another vacancy in patrol that will need to be filled.
okay. So we would be adding another one more head.
At some point, yes.
No problem. Thank you.
Anybody else? Thanks, Darren. Fire EMS, Jake?
Thanks. At the end of May, our crews went out to Lambertine to give a demonstration on 500 for the new power load system and went through the equipment that's in the ambulance that we normally utilize when we're out on calls, so they know where that is. Two of our members, newly promoted Lieutenant Bo Gellings, got his EMT basic license and will start the training process sooner than later. He just transitioned into a different job, so he'll be coming when he's available to do that training. And Brandon Mumm upgraded his license from EMT basic to advanced EMT. So I just want to say congrats to those two. 500 was picked up last week, Tuesday, to get paint fixed on it. We had a lot of rusting issues on the box, so they are fixing that, and it should be back this week at some point. And I passed out the call log. As you can see, 502 was down quite a bit with interfacilities, and a lot of them were missed based off of its availability being out of service. So we'll look to see that swing back as we move into June. That is all I have.
Hey, Jake?
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, John.
The spare ambulance, that's just in case 502 would go down, or is that being utilized as a second one, or just to have available?
Yeah, so they limit the amount of miles that we can put on it without a surcharge. So we're utilizing it more as a backup than anything else.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Are there any other communities that are getting the power lift for their ambulances, or are we
No,
unique?
almost every ambulance that we run into has them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose
So
that
we're-
saves a lot of injuries. too.
Yeah, I mean, within the last 5 years, I'd say, they have grown a lot. A lot of departments have gotten them.
Even the smaller
Yeah.
departments?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Good. All right. Thanks, Jake.
Yep.
Anything for Public Works, Nick?
Yeah, I can touch on a few things. Grass mowing obviously has been keeping him busy, as it has probably all of us at our houses. Street painting, they're gonna start the arrows and such at intersections, touching those up. They'll be grinding them off this time to make them look a little bit nicer. I think they're gonna start that, they do that early in the morning, like, they come in at maybe at 3:30, I wanna say, in the morning to take care of that before the traffic starts. So they'll be out, I think this week is what they were planning on doing, so if you see that early in the morning, that's what they're working on. And then I already mentioned the pool, that obviously every year, starting the pool up is a lot of work, cleaning up, getting it ready to go, so all hands were on deck, last couple weeks here, getting that ready to go. Besides the pool heaters, there was a couple of other things that needed to be fixed. There was a water line that was blown, and so it's always, buildings like that are seasonal always require a little bit extra work, so that's what they've been working on.
Thanks, Nick. Consent agenda, approve the minutes of the following village board meeting from the 17th of May, and approve invoices and authorized checks to be drawn on respective funds as indicated. Okay, so the first one is from the checks dated 5/31. General fund, $18,270.84. Library fund, $48.75. EMS fund, $11,115.29. Capital projects, $118,535.24. Water department, $1,355.58. Wastewater department, $483.79. Stormwater fund, $3,172.96 for a grand total of $152,982.45. And the second list is for tonight's meeting. General fund, $101,302.65. Library fund, $413.76. EMS fund, $354.41. Capital projects, $6,445.80. Water department, $10,685.30. Wastewater department, $6,620.72. Stormwater fund, $9,229.27. Community Development Authority TIF, $627.12 for a grand total of $135,679.03. And also approve the following operators license: Jonathan Stutzman for Dollar General and Garth Schumacher for North Fond du Lac Softball Permanent. What is the board's pleasure?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
You have a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion by, yeah. Got a motion by Price, second by Horning to approve the consent agenda as read. Any questions or comments on this item?
I have one question. This is like.
Yep.
The 5/31/2021 invoice. Remember, page 5 for renter, you know, 502, repair for $9,810. What was that for? Maybe kids have already spoken about it, but I didn't hear it.
Yeah, that was for the brake system in the ambulance,
What was it for?
the parking brake system.
The parking brake system.
Holy Christ, 10 grand for a parking brake test?
Yeah, it was a pretty involved process. They had to replace a module, the computer portion of it, so it got to be pretty pricey.
Okay, thank you.
On that line, Jake, how many miles are on that ambulance?
Just over 130,000.
What is the life expectancy of that? You know, you're starting to, now is it, obviously you're watching it closely, the nickel and dime part of the ambulance and that stuff. I mean, how,
Yeah, we looked back to 2019 and got the dollar amounts that we have spent on that ambulance. And I think once the budget discussions start, we'll get into capital and where I kind of put it. But, the 8 to 10 year mark is really when we start nickel and diming the ambulance that we've had in the past as well.
what year is that? Because I know it's like.
2006.
Well,
So it's getting
nice.
up there.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Ann?
On page 10 of the document, or it's page 6 of the, so it's that Sunbelt Rentals chopper vent pump.
Yep. So we have, I probably had mentioned this once before, it's our stormwater lift station down on the south end of the village. That's that pump does that ring a bell?
Yeah, you talked about it last time.
There was a pump on this, it's basically a pump we're renting to be on standby in case we get some heavy rains now.
Got it.
Knock on wood, we've been very fortunate this year that this is the best year we probably could have picked to have that pump be replaced or be worked on because it's been so dry.
Yep. When are we getting it back?
We actually, so the pump that we had there, we actually returned already.
Okay.
It's on standby for us in Waukesha if we need it, so to stop paying for it. The other pump should be getting worked on this week. They were waiting on parts, like everything else in the world. And I'm hopeful it's installed in the next couple weeks.
And then we'll stop.
Yeah, but that's already been returned.
Oh, that one.
That,
Okay.
we're done paying on that, and like I said, it's on standby in Waukesha. If we need that back,
Oh.
we can go get it in an hour.
And then the playground repair on page 19.
Sure. Yep, so what that was this, there's rubber coated steps. There was at the community center and at, Village Park. So those steps are basically like a metal step that's dipped in rubberized material. It was all peeling off, and the steps themselves were starting to rust really badly. We called the manufacturer, and they're well past warranty, obviously, but it was going to be something in the neighborhood of $8,000 to get new steps installed. So we ended up taking them off ourselves, taking them to a Spies, and they burned off the material, sandblasted them and recoated them, and we saved a lot of money.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know we had talked about replacing the playground equipment at Lemon
Yep.
Park. Did we take that out of the budget for
Nope,
this year?
that was in the budget for this year. We are
Okay.
just in the stages of getting some designs taken care of and getting
Okay.
some quotes. And
Okay,
when
thank
we
you.
get further along in that process, we'll bring it back to discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Ann?
No, I'm good.
All right, anybody have anything else? All right, all in favor of approving the consent agenda as read, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, administrative discussion and possible action on appointing the following committee board members. Tony Faust for Board of Zoning Appeals for a 3-year term. Mike Will, alternate check signer for a 1-year term. Ken Jerkowski for Plan Commission for a 3-year term. Brandon Switz for Plan Commission for a 3-year term. Jackie Jerkowski, Library Board, 3-year term. Sherry Freiberg, Library Board, 3-year term. And Gail Hawk, Library Board, 3-year term. What is the board's? Yeah, thank you. What's the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion that we accept the following committee board members as read.
All right, can I get a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right, we got a motion by Duffy, second by Price, to approve the committee board members as listed. Are there any questions or comments on this item? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, opposed? None. All right. And I'd like to thank everybody for agreeing to serve on these committees. Much appreciated. These are all like, everything that we have, all the boards that we have are very important, but it's nice to see that community members step up and want to be a part of that. Item H, resolutions. Resolution 7-2021, a resolution authorizing execution of the Department of Natural Resources Principal Forgiveness Financial Assistance Agreement.
I can talk about that. Mitch did a write-up for the board. Basically, this is our lead service line replacement, and Mitch had some stats in there about what we did with the last, we got $100,000 the last time. We replaced 21 private lead water services, so this is only for work on people's property. We offer up to $3,000, and most of them are around $3,300 to get done. 21 homeowners took advantage of that. The area we targeted the last time was more specific to street projects, so we have to kind of know that the right-of-way portion of it is already taken care of, because if we go to replace their lead service on their property and it's still lead out in the road, it really doesn't serve any purpose at that point until we get the stuff out in the road replaced. So we do have some targeted areas we've been going after, and we'll continue to do that. And this is just another step in the process. We're pre-authorized, I think, for this. This is basically giving permission to, I think, Mike and myself to execute the documents, which is usually the case with all these grants, and it's for $90,000. And that is a grant. There's no match. It's just a grant.
Chuck?
Are there still quite a few left?
Oh, yeah, there's
Yeah.
way more, yeah. I mean, there's a lot in the village. I don't know a number, but I'm gonna guess it's in the 200 range,
Really?
you know.
Okay.
It hasn't caused any issues in the past year. Some of it has to do with water, how the chemicals in the water and how the water's actually made up. And, the other areas you've read about have different water makeups, and then if they change their water, that's what happened, and the one everybody hears about is Flint, Michigan, but, yeah, we're continuing to work towards this. Is something that's not gonna happen overnight, but, we're doing our best to do what we can, and the private part of it's the hardest part, because homeowners aren't able to come up with that money all the time. I mean, it's a pretty expensive $3,300 for a homeowner is a lot of money, so we're doing what we can to do from our standpoint, applying for as much as we can, so.
Okay, thank you.
So Nick, what do you think the percentage of, like, when we did Indiana, Illinois, I mean, do you think most people did that? Replace those lines like when
No.
we had the opportunity?
I would say 50 to 60%. I was
Okay.
the inspector on those jobs,
Yep.
so I remember it quite. And, lead, besides the chemical concerns of lead doesn't really deteriorate in the ground, and it doesn't corrode like galvanized corrodes and causes issues. So those things generally cause, you can see the end effect as in your house. If you have a galvanized service, your water pressure gets reduced over time. You don't notice that with lead. So, if as a homeowner that maybe doesn't really pay much attention to that or doesn't really know, it works just fine. So that's probably why, until there was more concern about that, that came out from
Yeah.
mainly the Flint, Michigan deal. But I would say the majority of, I would say the majority, like maybe 50 to 60% of the lead services in my mind, maybe more than that, 70% were replaced when we did the projects. But we have really good records, so we know the ones that have it, and we know, that we have either copper or plastic up to the property line. So those are the ones we're targeting most right now.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What, I guess, is this an annual thing? Like, what's the time frame?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the last one, it was about a 2-summer type deal, maybe not quite a year, but it was over 2 seasons.
Okay.
This would be probably about a year, about that. I think it's maybe 24 months for the grant portion of it, but we really did most of the work in less than a year.
Like, someone offers a grant. If we ran out of money, we couldn't ask for another grant, or?
I think it's an annual amount, and I didn't write the grant. Mitch worked on it. I don't know
Okay.
those specifics, but I know we're getting as much as we possibly can.
And who's it through?
This is through the Department of Natural Resources.
Through the state of Wisconsin?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Nick, do you need me to read this, or?
Nope.
Okay. All righty, so what is the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution R 07-2021.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Got a motion by Horning and a second by Duffy to approve Resolution 7-2021 for the resolution authorizing execution of the Department of Natural Resources Principal Forgiveness Financial Services or Assistance Agreement. Any other questions or comments on this? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. All right. Any unfinished business? Any new business? Can I get a motion to go into closed session, please?
I make a motion to go into closed session for discussion of a personnel issue under Wisconsin State Statute 1985 subsection 1 subsection C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Director of Public Works hiring.
All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, got a motion by Price, second by Duffy to go into closed session. Could I get a roll call, please?
Duffy,
Yes.
Horning,
Yes.
Streeter,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Will.
Yes.
All right, we are in closed session.